Your basketball coach, Greg Gard.
Wisconsin wins the Big Ten.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Sports Center updates on 100.5 ESPN are brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison. Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com. The biggest moments.
One man to beat up the right sideline.
See ya, baby.
99-yard touchdown run.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships.
The biggest stories from area high school sports. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. Alongside the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semro, here's Hunter Vaughn.
The bracket is set for the boys basketball tournament, and instead of just reacting to it, the Dean, Dennis Summerow, and I will be filling out our brackets today. In particular, this incredibly competitive Madison area sectional for Division I that features the Big 8 teams along with Waunakee, Beloit Memorial, Kettle Moraine in that one. A great sectional that we will be breaking down here tonight on PrepMania Weekly, as this is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, and Zimbrick Honda has been a part of the Madison community since 1973. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at two convenient Madison service locations, one on Fish Hatchery Road and the other on Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? At Zimbrick Honda, buy 3 tires and get the 4th for how much?
$1.
That's right, Dennis, just $1. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda. Dennis, the brackets are out. We know who will be playing who. We understand now the paths that teams have to go through to get to the Kohl Center. So before we fill it out and we make any predictions on our bracket for the Division I boys tournament, what were your thoughts on the seedings? I know last week I was pretty fired up about the girls' seeding. Don't feel the same way about the boys. I feel like for the most part they got things right. Is there anything that shocked you from this bracket?
I want to go no. I haven't had a chance to sit down and analyze every matchup or potential. But I'm like my buddy Pat Rice. After a while, you're just like, whatever. Let's just play the games. Now, there are a couple of things that I thought Beloit Memorial getting the 2 seed. They haven't played anybody really. I mean, now they're not in the Big 8 anymore, so they don't get that test day in and day out. But they've got, fairly good players in the candidate, for Mr. Basketball. So I guess that's okay. But I just know it's Wisconsin Lutheran's bracket to Division I.
Yeah.
And I see now that, was it Kager, the junior?
Kager Knippel.
Was offered by the Badgers. He was an unofficial visit yesterday.
Yep.
And right away. So I'm thinking, okay, let's get some of those Wisconsin Lutheran guys over here into Madison. And got to focus on the Badgers. Great win for the Badgers yesterday. Anytime you can beat the Hawkeyes. I hate Iowa. I'm sorry. It's one of those Iowa, Illinois, and Minnesota. If we can win those games every year, no matter what the team does. And to see Knipple
What about Michigan
here,
State?
I have a lot of respect for Izzo for what he's done for the game, and I don't hate him like my wife doesn't like Michigan State because of that. My son says he hates Michigan State. But I've got a little bit more personal contact with him, having been on this table, watching him work, how he works the officials, going to the press conferences afterwards. And the last one, they got their butts kicked, and he came out and admitted it. And he and Guard, have done some stuff. He was here for Guards Guarding Against Cancer last year. He's spoken at the coaches clinic that I was at, and was nice enough to have a picture taken with me. It's like, oh man, this is one of the icons of basketball. So in Michigan State, I thought they've always represented the Big Ten really well. So. Now, when it comes to football, no, I don't like them, or Ohio State or whatever. But it's the Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, and to have. And how about hockey selling out since they reconfigured? That Saturday crowd was now a new record for that. Unfortunately, they lose to Michigan. Now, that's all right, Michigan in hockey. That's becoming the rival, just like Ohio State is for the women. But we had a great weekend, and for the bids to come out, I think more people are going to say, well, this one versus that. Let's just play the game. Now they're doing the electronic seating. I don't think we have as many problems as we had with football in the past, and football fixed that last year. I'd like to see basketball be more transparent of, Middleton just played De Pere and lost to De Pere.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe their seed should be down a little bit lower. But
plus Middleton had the loss to Verona as well that you and I were at.
Yeah, they just last second. Now you're saying, okay, if you lose to somebody early versus late, you have the split versus the sweep. So over the next couple of days, I'll be taking a look at that because we're talking about some brackets early, but the rest of the week I'll sit down and look at all 5, and I'll make my predictions all the way through. And then I'll my buddies over at Go Bound with around the state, the guys that I've been doing stuff with for years.
Yep.
We always just kibitz back and forth, and we get to state, hey, how many did you get this year? Well, I kind of tanked this year. Well, okay.
Yep.
So, you got that little peer rivalry thing going, but not as much as the girls. I think we had more to complain about. I still think the Big 8 gets underappreciated. The girls, you can see because the conference has been so bad in the bottom part of it. The top part's been okay and gotten a little bit better. But I thought the Big 8 boys, has always been one of the better conferences in the state.
Because, for those that don't know or maybe are just tuning in, Dennis has been covering basketball around the state for over 40 years now. Was that the same when, Memorial had Vanderblue and Wes Matthews and were winning state titles and going on those runs with Steve Collins? Was it the same way then where it was Memorial maybe was seeded highly, but everybody else was kind of underseeded?
Well, yeah, because, Memorial won 14 conference titles in a row, and then you look at how many Mr. Basketballs they had and whatever. They were kind of the dominant. But you had the Beloit Memorial, which was always good, and had their runs. You had Middleton getting to state. You had Madison West, winning a title, winning the first titles back when I was with the Cap Times days. La Follette. The Big 8's how they had their share of getting conferences. Craig, Bob Suter was the coach there. That was one of the premier programs in the state. Parker, interesting. It was Craig boys and Parker girls. Tom Clawwater, when we were talking about with WIAA getting her first dunk, of course, the game after we covered them against Verona, when Clawwater was coaching the Parker girls team. That was just phenomenal. And Misty Bass, with 3-time Miss Basketball, which you can't do anymore because you have to be a senior to be Miss Basketball or Mr. Basketball. But I think, the Big 8, I think, has always had a pretty good reputation. The city conference, so, back in the days of Vincent and King and whatever really ruled, now that's really taken a step back.
Yeah.
But the Fox Valley has always been very good. So I like the fact that we should be getting the best teams to state. I don't think it's all equal. Well, we got to have somebody from the northwest part of the state. Well, we got to have somebody from the – no, you look at for football, we had Notre Dame and
West De Pere playing each other.
For state football. We could have played that game at Lambeau Field. No, it's here at it's Camp Randall. But I think the fact it needs to be transparent, and you want the best teams there. That's what the fans want. And I think if we can get this tournament expanded again to more larger schools here, that Thursday tournament used to be phenomenal. Wednesday was a shoot around. We had all the teams coming in to at least get to their time. Thursday you had some of the best, the D1 prospects here because you had 8 teams. And you did have a chance where some years it was pretty equal representation. You had that team of lacrosse going, so.
Now, Dennis, I said in the beginning here, we're going to fill out our bracket. We got you going on storytelling here, and I wanted to let you go, but we've got to fill out our bracket here.
We need a tour show for that, sorry.
Dennis Summerall's story time could take up very large chunk of the show if I let it. So we're going to go through and break down this bracket and make our predictions specifically for the what is considered Sectional 3 or Vel Phillips Memorial being the 1 seed in that. So we're going to go right from the top all the way down here to make our selections. Vel Phillips Memorial will be playing on Friday, March 6th, the winner of Sun Prairie East and West Tosha Central. I went with the local pick. I took Sun Prairie.
Yep, Sun Prairie.
And then for that game, I've got Vel Phillips Memorial then winning. They get revenge on Sun Prairie East, who beat them in the regional final last year to advance to the regional final this year.
Oh, that was a great game over at Memorial, too, with Chris Davis and company and right down to the wire.
Do you have Vel Phillips Memorial winning that game? And then the 8-9 matchup with Lake Geneva Badger, the 9 seed, going to the 8 seed Kettle Moraine. Kettle Moraine, a classic team. Who do you like in that 8-9, Dennis?
I'll go with them. Yeah, classic 8 team. Even though I can't flip a coin.
See, I went with Badger. I was going back and forth on it. I went with Badger because they're scoring over 70 points per game. They can score a ton of points, and I just feel like if they can make that a track meet against a slower Kettle Moraine team, I like their ability to be able to do that. Our producer, Owen Dimfel, we had you fill out this bracket as well. We'll be tracking this throughout the postseason. That 8-9 matchup, who did you pick?
I went with Kettle Moraine.
Just cuz, or?
Yep. I felt like Kettle Moraine's going to win.
Going with the vibes. Then the 5-12 matchup, not as sneaky as what the NCAA tournament 5-12 matchups are, but Middleton hosting Janesville Craig. Middleton coming off of back-to-back losses now with the loss to Verona, and then they lost to De Pere over the weekend, but they host another Big 8 team in Janesville Craig. Do you got the 12 seed upset, Dennis?
Nope, I got Middleton, and keep an eye on Parks, their sophomore center. This is a future star. He had the driving coast to coast, got the rebound, tied the game up against Verona, and then the Verona coach, Kurtrell Robinson, makes the obvious, let them play, guys, and then went down and got the last second shot to win. So those 2 losses against the top 5 team in De Pere and against a very good Verona team, I don't think you dock Middleton much for those.
Absolutely. I've got Middleton winning that one as well. And then the bottom part of this top half of the bracket, 4 seed Waunakee hosting the 13 seed McWanago. That'd be a great football game, Dennis. But I feel like Waunakee, they made that trip to state last year. It feels like this is a team that's going to be making another deep run into the postseason again for Waunakee with all the experience that they have.
Yeah, again, that's one of those blue bloods. You take a look at the at our power rankings. You know, Waunakee's been there. I think the sneak peek, they're going to be in the top 10 again for us. So that's one that they had to replace 5 starters from last year, and they've just gotten better and better. I think as the season's gone, and that conference, race that race is right down to the last week too.
And then continuing on as we count down, or not count down, we'll be counting down our power rankings in the next segment, but as we go through this Division I bracket for the Madison area teams, 3 seed Verona hosting Sun Prairie West in the regional semifinal. Verona's playing great basketball right now. Between our panel here with the 3 of us, does anybody have Sun Prairie West getting the win?
Nope.
Not a chance. I'm sorry. This is Verona all the way.
And then the 11 seed Madison West going to the 6 seed Oregon. Dennis, do you like the Regents to get the upset on the Panthers?
Oh, boy. I really think the Regents are an up-and-coming team, but Braden Hermsdorf now averaging 16 points a game and averaging almost a double-double, 9 rebounds. Getting him healthy was a big factor. Brady Hook's been a great player for that team. And then my favorite was Ethan Pagels, the starting quarterback in football. He's the best player in intramurals. Hey, let's get him out for varsity his senior year. And what's Pagel doing? He's averaging 5.3 points and 3 rebounds. And he actually made the all-tournament team at the 608 tournament. That's when that flu bug went through in Hermsdorf. We didn't get to see him play, and we finally did this year. But I like Oregon still, I think, on their home court too.
And then a 7-10 matchup that's intriguing. Monona Grove hosting the 10 seed Madison La Follette. Guys, any of you have the upset of Madison La Follette over Monona Grove?
I do not. I got Monona Grove, and I have them over Beloit Memorial.
Interesting. Dennis, what do you think about our producer Owen Dimfel with the upset, the Silver Eagles over Beloit Memorial in that sectional what would be a regional final to go to the sectional weekend.
Yeah, MG with just one senior on the team, their best players is sitting out because of an injury. I think that's La Follette's got the edge, I think, on talent and experience. And WIAA right now, and then you look at Reese Jordan, their guard, who's going to be first team all-conference. I think that might be a little bit too much firepower for Monona Grove. I like the fact that Monona Grove has made improvement year-round, and this is a team we're going to be talking about for the conference in the long run next year. But right now, I'm just not quite sure they have enough experience in that tournament against the Big A team.
They feel like a team that's kind of a year away.
I think a year away, yeah. But if MG pulls that one off, wins that, that's one of those where it's a 7-10. It could be a 7-10 the other way.
Yep.
Is the way I look at it. But in La Follette, I've seen them play a couple of times this year. They've got so much talent, but they just seem to be kind of five guys out there, not that glove, that team. If they get them all in the same cylinder, and WIAA plays because he is a game changer in the post, and Jordan can just take over a game himself. Those two guys, I think, are the game changers here.
As we go through the Division I bracket, going back up then for the regional final at the top in the second round, I've got Memorial taking down Badger, going to the sectional round. I think all of us are very high on Memorial with the experience they have. One of the best coaches in the state, and Steve Collins. This is, again, they have all of the ingredients to be able to make a run to the Kohl Center. On the bottom side then, Waunakee and Middleton in a 4-5 regional final matchup. I have Waunakee going to this. I think Middleton's a great team. I think they can do a ton of scoring in spurts. We've seen them the last couple of times go through some long stretches of games where they don't score at all. The beginning of this DePere game, we saw it for stretches against Verona last week. That concerns me when we get to regional finals, sectional weekend. So I've got Waunakee. Owen, who do you have?
I'm going to take Middleton. I really like their three-point shooting. Anybody can pop one from deep at any time. I feel like they can be a dangerous team at that point. But you have a great point that it's sporadic at times, and that can be dangerous. But I'm gonna take the chance on Middleton over Waunakee.
Dennis, this Middleton-Waunakee game, I have the sneaking suspicion that this is going to be a 1-2 possession game the entire way. Even though Middleton can go cold at times, I think their defense can cause enough havoc that we're going to see a tight game. I'd be shocked if anybody wins this game by more than 5 points.
Yeah, Middleton's been playing so many guys. They've been playing 11, 12 a game, and now it's gone down to about 9 or 10. But this is the kind of team where they're just relentless. And if they played their game against Waunakee, I think they might just have too much firepower. They like the three, but they can really get up down the court. And their whole thing is get in transition before the other team gets that defense set up and get some shots up, as many possessions as they can. And I know in the past Waunakee has played that way, but I don't think they can play that way this year. So I'm going to go with Middleton.
We got to get going on these picks here as we go down to the bottom side then. Verona, I've got a Verona-Oregon matchup for this regional final to go to the sectional semis. We feel like Verona's going on to the sectional weekend.
Yep.
And then I have Beloit Memorial. I think Amari Hereford is still just a great player. I think he can put up a ton of points, very similar to Chris Davis Jr. for Sun Prairie East last year. I think he can carry this team at least to getting to the sectional semifinal to take on Verona. But then I've got Verona going to a sectional final. What about you guys? Is that your pick for the bottom side?
Verona Memorial for the third time.
Yep. I've got Verona Memorial the third time playing for a chance to go to the Kohl Center, and I've got Steve Collins and Memorial going back to state. It'd be their first time since 2017 playing at the Kohl Center.
Yeah, that's its best team since back then. And you look at when Jake Ferguson, and then.
Do you know that's Barry Alvarez's grandson? By the way, no one ever talked about that ever.
Right. Billy Wilson, who's the JV coach.
Yep.
And maybe when Steve steps down, that might be his successor down the road. They're grooming him. I know that because he's also a baseball coach there too.
Yep.
But I think this is it. We kidded last year when Steve was up in the booth with us, but we'll see you down on the Kohl Center floor next year. We all thought if the Ligon brothers came back and everybody made the improvement they have they're in that position right now. I like them.
Yep, absolutely. And then for the other 3 sectionals, we're not going to go through game by game as we're getting up against the clock here. But I want to at least talk about our picks for the other 3 teams then to make it to the Kohl Center. We'll stay on that right side. This is the Wisconsin Lutheran sectional, back-to-back state champions. They won it in D2 2 years ago, won Division I. It's Wisconsin Lutheran, right?
Yep, totally.
Next.
Yeah. Then one that I feel like is a bit of a no-brainer. I'm going to be interested, Dennis, to hear your take on this one. The De Pere sectional, they do have Arrowhead as a 2 seed, Brookfield East is the 3, Hartford as the 4. What are your thoughts on that sectional? I'm really high on De Pere after seeing them beat Middleton the way that they did. They have every single piece that you need to be able to make a deep run. They can shoot the ball well. They play great defense. They force turnovers. They can score inside. They've got a deep team. They had guys getting into foul trouble in that game, and they were still able to beat a really good Middleton team. I'm very high in this De Pere program this year.
And they got a hell of a coach.
Absolutely.
Winchester. So I think De Pere's, that's my pick there. Even though I do like, Arrowhead's always, been a team that's always been in the mix there. But I'm going to stick with De Pere with the number 1 seed.
Owen, do you got De Pere?
Yep, I got De Pere, and I have Appleton North as well.
Appleton North coming out of the other one. This one is the toughest one, is the final sectional. That's why I wanted to leave it for last. You have a 1 seed, DC Everest. Appleton North is the 2 seed. That's Owen's pick to make it to the Kohl Center. Marshfield is the 3 seed, and then Kaukauna as the 4.
Boy, Marshfield, yeah, that's a pretty good team right there.
They played at the Kohl Center last year.
But I really liked Appleton North when we saw them up at over at the 608. I'm going to stick with my man over there. I think that's a good one. That might be the edge there. But you can't flip a coin there. Put them all, shake them in a bag, and any one of them could come out because DC Everest has got a number 1 seed in that sectional. So. I like Appleton North. Haven't seen them.
I am a big fan of Chris Pohl, the 6'8" forward. He's a senior this year. He hit some massive shots in their semifinal for Marshfield over Waunakee to give them that big win and get them into the championship game. And he hit some even bigger shots then in the championship against Wisconsin Lutheran and gave them a fight. I think he's the type of player that can carry Marshfield. I like the 3 seed Marshfield getting back. I think they're one of those teams where it's kind of you have to lose one to win one. And I think you had to lose that championship game to, I think, maybe give
that's a good point.
Wisconsin Lutheran a run.
That's that experience thing. That's what makes Wisconsin Lutheran so good. They've won it 2 years in a row, and all those guys have played in that level.
Absolutely.
Played on that court.
So that is our Division I breakdown. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going to take a look more at the local teams with our Pizza Hut Power Rankings. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly on ESPN Madison.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
At Hooper Service, your comfort is important. From keeping you cozy warm to comfy cool with the ultra-quiet, energy-efficient Carrier Infinity Home Comfort System. Plus, join our Home Comfort Priority Plan and keep your air conditioner and furnace running at peak performance year after year. Enjoy priority service and extra savings that really add up. Hooper is here with 24-hour heating, cooling, plumbing, and fire protection service for your home and business. Turn to the experts, Carrier and Hooper.
Looking for an easy lunch or dinner win? Pizza Hut's My Hut Box lets you pick a personalized pan pizza, a melt, and now you can choose wings as your entree. Boneless or traditional wings tossed in your favorite sauce or rub. One box, tons of options, all day, every day.
My Hut Box is the best personalized meal combo starting at just $6.99.
Head to one of their locations, order on the app, or online at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
Getting you back to doing what you love is the #1 priority of Stoughton Health Rehab and Sports Medicine Clinics in both Oregon and Stoughton. With physical, occupational, and speech therapy, we can provide care with no referral needed. Plus, we now accept over 160 area insurance plans, including Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, Dean Health Plan, Humana, Quartz, and more. For more information, visit stoughtonhealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Molly Brown here for Metro Kia of Madison. Metro Kia is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle? Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned Kia, you can browse their extensive inventory and find this month's specials at metrokiaofmadison.com. That's metrokiaofmadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership on the east side of Madison today.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer full-service financial solutions. This local independent firm has been dedicated to helping people achieve their financial, tax, and insurance goals for over 30 years. Visit mfgteam.com to learn more about how they can help set up your future for financial success. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Zimbrick Honda's excuse me. Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly continues on. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Sumrow. It's now time for our Pizza Hut Power Rankings, where each week our team ranks the top 10 teams from the Madison area. Again, this is the Big 8, Badger Large, Badger Small, the Capital North, and Capital South. Starting with girls basketball, we'll just go through the top 5 as there really wasn't any change on that bottom portion of it this year. At number 5, the Golden Beavers of Beaver Dam. Currently, the Golden Beavers sitting at 17-6 on the year, 10-3 in Badger Conference play. Then at number 4 is Vel Phillips Memorial. The Spartans just behind now number 3 Edgewood. Is Edgewood falling from one of their top 2 spots that they've been all year down to number 3, and jumping up ahead of them is Madison La Follette. Then at number 1, the Waunakee Warriors, where they've basically been all year, Dennis.
Yeah, they've won 7 of the last 8. They lost an out-of-state game, Providence. But that's a good team. Edgewood, they fell because they lost to Verona last Monday, 66-53. But they've got the Badgers small title locked up, and Waunakee the large, so they're both going to have long playoff runs.
We definitely expect them to have those deep playoff runs with all of the experience they've had. Waunakee in a sectional final last year, losing to Arrowhead. La Follette losing in the championship, Edgewood losing in the championship game last year up at the Resch Center. These are your Pizza Hut Power Rankings. Pizza Hut's new Big New Yorker is just $10 for a limited time. An extra large pizza with 6 huge foldable slices and bold New York style flavor. Big size, big value, just $10. Order on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut, the official pizza of PrepMania. Continuing on with our power rankings, we now move on to the boys Pizza Hut power rankings. Again, just the top 5. There wasn't a ton of movement in the top 10 for the boys. We did see Oregon jumping back up into the top 10 for them, as well as then a little bit of a flip with Mount Horeb and McFarland. But at number 5 is the Waunakee Warriors. They've won 6 straight. They're playing Monona Grove tonight. Then at 4, the Cardinals of Middleton. Number 3 is Verona. They're coming off of back-to-back tight game winners. They had the game-winning shot, winning by 3 against Middleton with about 5 seconds left in that game. Then they followed it up with a road 1-point victory, 73-72 at Homestead this past week. Then number 2 is Lake Mills. Their only 2 losses to Seymour and Freedom on the year, 2 of the best teams in the entire state. And number 1 is Vel Phillips Memorial, a team that all of us on this show are incredibly high on.
Yeah, clinch. If they beat Middleton on Thursday, they'll clinch the conference title.
Outright conference title.
They've got a share
Middleton
right now.
wins, it would be a share of the conference title for that one, with Memorial having just the 1 conference loss, Middleton with 2. If they can force that second loss for Vel Phillips Memorial, they force a tie.
That loss to Verona way back in December.
Yep, and they haven't had any struggles since then. They've been playing some great basketball, and it's still going to be a great game. Middleton's a great team. They're going to put up a fight in that one, especially at home, last game of the year against their conference rivals.
We know both Memorial and Waunakee for the girls, unanimous for our polls this week, number 1s.
Yep. The only time that's happened this year, where we have all of our voters for the Pizza Hut Power Rankings have all been unanimous on these are the 2 best teams in the area, and they've really shown it down the stretch. They're playing their best basketball. They're not just beating teams, but they're just dominating a number of these teams that they're playing.
Just like a pair of hockey teams, USA. That was for you, Mr. Hockey.
It was such a great time on Sunday, Dennis. You could get me going, and then I'm going to start telling stories about Sunday. But we're talking about high school basketball here, and these teams in these Pizza Hut Power Rankings, besides our number 1 teams, and I'm going to also exclude Edgewood for the girls' side. What teams do you think can make a deep run, making it to either the Cole Center for the boys' side or the Resch Center for the girls?
Mount Horeb, we got to see Josh Manchester back. 1 point in the first half, 0 for 8 from the floor. They end up winning that game, pulling away because Alex Chapman had a good game, and Anderson had a good game, and company. So that's a team, and even though I think McFarland might be a year away, Mount Horeb with those seniors. And on the girls' side, La Follette.
Yeah,
I really like being able to see react, but see what's around her and how well they play together as a team. That is, and Will Green's got some of those girls for 2 more years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're going to be talking to Will here shortly about that.
Yeah, the perfect tease, Dennis, as coming up next, we will talk to the head coach of the Madison La Follette Lancers as they get ready to take on Kettle Moraine in their regional semifinal game coming up on Friday, a game that Dennis and I will be at La Follette High School, as Will Green, the head coach of the La Follette Lancers, joins us next for the Midwest Financial Group Coaches Profile here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
More of Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly coming up next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
For over a century, one family has helped generations move forward. Christofferson Moving and Storage. They've built a legacy of trust, celebrating 120 years in 2026. With transparent, upfront pricing, highly trained professional crews, and flexible services designed around you, they protect your home and belongings with expert care and clear communication every step of the way. Let them handle the heavy lifting so you can focus on what's next. Christofferson Moving and Storage, your best move since 1906. Get your complimentary quote at ChristoffersonMoving.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
I wasn't sure if I could afford college, and my family couldn't help me. But I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, I found financial support beyond tuition. Even fuel, transportation, and technology has been covered. It's incredible that I'll be able to graduate debt-free. My advice to others, don't let financial barriers stop you. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started. The Bucky Badger Student Mascot Fund was created to support the amazing student athletes who bring the best mascot in the world to life. Hey, my name is Stacy Bruner. I was Bucky Badger from 2010 to 2014. My most memorable sports moment was running out the flag at the 2013 Rose Bowl versus Stanford. Your donation will help fund new scholarships to ensure that the rich tradition of Bucky lives on. Learn more at supportbucky.org. That's supportbucky.org.
Staying on Wisconsin sports never stops with the Jump Around podcast.
I think they're going to make the tournament, and the way that they finish off this regular season here still has me believing that they're going to be a Sweet 16 team. So because they're going to be good enough to make the tournament, which means they have to close out the season strong, shows me that they will end up as a Sweet 16 team.
The Jump Around podcast with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions. Streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, it's all about the NBA trade deadline with Marcus and Chris. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly continues on. It's time for our Midwest Financial Group Coaches Profile. The lineup at Midwest Financial Group consists of coaches for your financial world, organizing the players on your personal team. Behind every great team is a great coach. Let the Midwest Financial Group be yours for your financial planning needs. Head to mfgteam.com to get started today. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. We're now joined by the head coach of the La Follette Lancers, and it looks like Coach Green is finishing up some practice right now. Coach, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Man, thanks for having me, fellas.
So we'll start since it looked like you were just coming out of practice there. How was this practice tonight?
Man, it was good, man. It's good. It's always nice to start the new season. So it's always nice to start the new season and, try to let the girls know, like, it's a new energy that needs to happen. The regular season is out the window, and we're here now to get to playoffs.
Well, your team's won 8 of their last 10 to finish up this regular season. Do you use anything to fall back on or talk about from that as you start this new season?
Sure. I think we were building over the course of the season, so we're building on different things that we're liking to do. Different defensive schemes and things like that. So, just trying to perfect those and get them right for the new season that's coming. So, those are things we've been working on throughout the season. Defensive schemes, different ways that we like to attack people. So we like to keep pressure on people throughout the game. So whether it's in a full court or half court. So, we just trying to perfect those things and make them better.
So you share the conference title with the Memorial, team you swept. And, of course, they're coached by a La Follette grad and Marcus Flowers. What was the last time that La Follette won a conference title for the girls?
Oh, my gosh, fellas, I think it is 1985-86 season is when the last time we had won a conference championship. So, and I'm going to tell you, man, it was something that was on my mind. It was, sometimes you can't really understand what your body's feeling, like this stress or this thing that's hanging over you, and that was hanging over me last week. Like I really couldn't focus until that game was over that we played Middleton and we won that Big 8 conference championship. So I'm so glad that's behind me. That was truly a monkey on our back. And that's just one goal that we achieved this season that we wanted to achieve. So,
well, another monkey is the last time you were at State was 87 when they lost in the quarterfinals. Only 2 appearances at State, 78 and 87. So I'm sure this generation has no clue about that. So that's got to be a big one for you.
They don't, man. I sometimes still make the mistake of being like, Do I talk about like a land phone? I talk about things that the girls have no idea. I was born in the '70s, and I just made this comment like, "Hey, Jack," and they was like, "Hey, who is Jack?" But it's just an old saying, you know what I mean? So I gotta watch when I say things like that. But yeah, they have no clue about that history. We try to tell them though. We try to tell them what a special moment they have right now because I have a young team, and they have no fear. They don't know no better. So that's kind of the best thing sometimes.
When you have a team that, like you said, has no fear, are there moments where you maybe have to, like in a game, kind of remind them or like tell them, hey, this is a big moment here, this is a key moment, if they maybe don't recognize those?
Oh my gosh, y'all. I have babies, man. I really need to start carrying like a baby bag around with me. Like these sophomores, some of them are like Najawani herself. She stands at like 6'2", 6'3", so she towers over me. But I often have to remember and the talent that she is, that she's 15 years old. She's a baby. And some people don't even realize it. Sometimes this kid, I got to stop her from crying in a game sometimes because they just so young. So I always have to reiterate, like trying to let them know like what the importance is of the moment and how every possession, every rebound, every block out, all those things matter. And you have to make that play. And so I always have to remind them within the game and outside of the game, leading up to like a situation like playoffs this weekend. So it's always a reminder for sure.
We're joined by the head coach of the La Follette Lancers, Will Green. You mentioned Nia Riak. We've got to talk about it. The history-making dunk. As far as we know, she's the only girl to ever dunk in a game in the state of Wisconsin. What was that like for you being on the sideline, seeing that happen?
Okay, so we playing Madison East. And she had tried maybe 7 times throughout the season. Even like our very first game, Madison West, she tried twice. I was like, oh my gosh, she almost got that. I was like, she's going to get that this year. And so here we are at East. And it's always kind of like you're up big on teams like that, and you want to take your star out so they don't get hurt. Something happened. And so I was like 2 minutes. I was like, you got 2 minutes. Like you about to come out this game and be done for the night. And so we was about to take her out. She gets the steal and I seen her gather. And if you see my reaction on the sideline, you'll know that I was shocked too. Like, oh, she just did it. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. So yeah, man, what an experience, man. I was speechless, and I always missed the moment. So you guys were at the game when she scored her 1,000 point, and I was supposed to take a timeout after she hit the 3 in the corner, and she was at 9. But I wasn't worried about how many points she had. I was trying to win the game, and so I was supposed to take a timeout. And so then she dunked it. I should have took a timeout in that moment, but I didn't. I was like, "Oh my God, she just dunked it!" So I'm like, I'm late on the call on the timeout every time, but we did get the timeout and she got honored, man. So it's just a history making moment, man. We're part of history forever.
But you sent me the text, and I'm like, oh, no, the game after we were there, and we talked about it, that she'd done it in practice and missed it in the game. So I said, it's got to be the next game, and sure enough. And the thing that we were most impressed with when we called your game against Verona was, okay, she's got all this talent, and sometimes players watch other players. They kind of forget they got to be part of it. But you had a player off the bench that played, was it Chan, that played really well.
Ende.
And it just seemed to be everybody kind of figuring out now where they have to be. Has that been part of your fun this year, is watching them develop, not as 5 players, but as a glove, one team?
Yeah, I think we stress that a lot, and we still learning. I think all teams still need to learn what their roles are and where they need to be successful on the court. And even Najawani is still learning that. The good thing is she's a willing passer, and she this team like each other, and I think that shows when you like each other, it translates onto the court. And so it's been a joy to watch them progress. I think that's what beauty of coaching, because we get to see it every week, week in, week out, the progression of the kids and how they're growing. And so I just been proud of them because they have met the moments when it was time. Verona was a big game. We beat Memorial twice. Those were games we had to win to be a Big 8 conference champ. So I'm just proud of the girls for doing that.
Now, Joanna, you mentioned her that as you're going to get a new, I understand, new football coach. Coach steps aside. You can worry about the football coach taking her. She threw 2 passes, court baseline to baseline for fast break layups. I'm like, oh my God, she could play football too. It's just a great athlete.
Yeah, just a great athlete, man. It's kind of like a dream, like I said, to have a player like that you can get a basket at any time on the court. And so, again, she's 15. She's still growing. I think, our basketball IQ can definitely increase as we continue to grow as a team. And that's what sets some team aside, basketball IQ. We always put on the board 70-30. And my coach from Gary, Indiana, always told me the game is 70% mental, 30% physical. And so we always stress like the mentality that you need to have to play the game.
We're joined by the head coach of the La Follette Lancers, Will Green. Want to transition into your regional semifinal game now, as you'll be hosting Kettle Moraine coming up on Friday night. From what you've seen of this Kettle Moraine team, what are the things that you guys are looking out for or trying to prepare your team for on Friday night?
Well, it's always something when you don't play a lot of teams from different conferences. So, you can always be a surprise to a team. So, just making sure that we are trying to get our scouting reports right. Who's the shooter, who's not the shooter. And then what's going to be most effective. As a coach, I think you don't know what's going to work against a team. So you have these things in your toolbox that you can pull out in a night that hopefully works. We think we got a good defensive scheme that works for us by using Najawani either at the top of a press or sending guards into the middle to have to shoot over. So we try to use that to the best of our ability. And really, just prepare. Again, teams like Kettle Moraine, they have won state championships and like multiple. And so they know what it takes. They have a pedigree that we don't have just yet. And so, we try to make sure that we're going to match any kind of energy that we're going to see come Friday night because they've been there before.
Against Verona, you had Najawani was up in the top on I think you had a 1-3-1, 1-2-2, and then also because you couldn't get the ball inside, you put the ball in her hands. As probably one of the tallest point guards you're going to see for the girls in the state. Is that something she's worked on, her ball handling, that she feels confident? That I know she got called for a 5-second call there, but then came back right away and made a play in the next trip down the court.
Yeah, she could take the ball. She can run the point for us. And that's the beauty of Najawani. So she can run the point for us, but I can put her down as our best post player, actually. So I can play her 1 through 5. And so it's just hard for her because a lot of teams throw a lot of junk defenses at her. She see like 2 or 3 people. Once she gets past her defender, she sees 2 or 3 more. And sometimes that frustrates her. So I'm trying to tell her, like, don't think about the team doing a defense against you. You need to be the one to dictate what that defense does, right? So if they want to load up on you on the right side, force them over here and throw it to your teammate on the opposite side, which we know is wide open. So at some point when people play us, we know we have 1 to 2 players wide open due to Najawani React being on the floor.
When you take on Kettle Moraine on Friday night, what is the one thing that your team needs to do to come away with the victory?
Man, I think if you want to win in the playoffs, you got to play defense. And so I just want them to be defensively locked in. You're going to have to, they're going to set a lot of screens. They're going to set a lot of, they're going to do a lot of backdoor cuts. Going to do a lot of flex screens. So, we just want to make sure that, our defensive assignments are intact. We do a lot of switching in our defensive schemes. So we just want to make sure we're meeting them before they beat us to the basket and stand in between the basket and our opponent, because that's what it comes down to. You're at war when you play teams, and it's like a 94-foot. If they beat us to half court, we got to get back and defend up until that point. We beat us to the 3-point line, we got to get back and we got to defend to that point. And so we just want to make sure we're in between the basket and our opponent at all times.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join the show, and good luck on Friday night as you take on Kettle Moraine.
Man, I appreciate the time, y'all. I appreciate y'all highlighting girls basketball at Madison La Follette.
Of course, Dennis and I have been talking for a while about how great it is to have Madison City basketball really it seems like this year take another step forward from where it had been with the pandemic and everything, and your team is a great example of that.
Well, look forward to seeing you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, man. See y'all Friday. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Again, the head coach of the La Follette Lancers, Will Green, as that was our Midwest Financial Group coaches profile. Again, the lineup at Midwest Financial Group consists of coaches for your financial world, organizing the players on your personal team. Behind every great team is a great coach. Let the Midwest Financial Group be yours for your financial planning needs. Head to mfgteam.com to get started today. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. Dennis, I think it's going to be a great game on Friday night. Regional semifinal, the Kettle Moraine Lasers coming into Madison to take on the La Follette Lancers. It's great having a city school, again, being able to host a postseason game. That's not something we've seen the last few years.
I remember 87, I think I was at, when I got to see La Follette play, and I see Coach's 10th year. He's wearing his Mentoring Positive sweatshirt there. Just an excellent example of somebody that's making an impact in this community, not just with his basketball team, but with kids overall. And got to be a Lancers fan on Friday night. Now, we got a broadcast. We got to be fair, but we kind of know who we want to come out of that game
We
with.
cover the Madison area. Anybody that has any illusions of that, we will be impartial on the broadcast. But, I mean, I'm just going to be honest with it. Dennis and I have
Lancers.
Dennis and I have one more segment left. It is our PrepMania on deck. We look ahead to some of the other area games going on, as that will wrap up Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly next here on ESPN Madison.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker Pizza is back. For just $10 for a limited time, get an extra large pizza with 6 huge slices so big you have to fold them. Loaded up with your favorite toppings, like the classic and crispy pepperoni. It's the perfect way to feed the crew with giant slices and one legendary vibe. Big size, big value, just $10. Head to one of their locations. Order now on the Pizza Hut app or online at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Experience the future of recovery at Carbon World Health. They've brought Escape Robotic Massage to Madison, the world's first AI-powered, fully automated therapeutic massage that's customized to your body every time. Using advanced body scanning, Escape maps your muscles and delivers precision-calibrated pressure to release tension, reduce inflammation, and accelerate recovery. Book your Escape session at Carbon World Health and feel what the future of wellness really feels like. Carbon World Health, your body optimized.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. Our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. Call 608-220-0005 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Wrapping up Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, I'm Hunter Vaughn. Alongside me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Summerau. Again, if you missed any of our interview with Will Green, you can watch it back on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, or you can download the podcast version of the show on the ESPN Wisconsin app, or wherever you get your podcasts. As this is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, and Zimbrick Honda's been a part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Browse their car selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda. So, Dennis, for our PrepMania on deck, as we look ahead to things, we have our Friday night battle between the Lasers of Kettle Moraine and the La Follette Lancers for a girls' regional semifinal. If La Follette wins that game, we will then carry La Follette for that Saturday for the regional final. We expect that game to be played over at Brookfield East. I did hear from Brookfield East. They're excited to have us if that ends up being the matchup. That'll be Adam Mertz and I, as you're going to be busy for your on-deck event this week.
Well, just kind of going through the brackets there. McCoy Smith got the number 1 seed for Waunakee.
Well, tell us what sport.
Yeah, well, it's wrestling season, of course.
I know, but for people who don't know.
So we just had team sectionals this past weekend, and Waunakee ended up winning for Division I. McCoy Smith was UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week this past fall, and he's going to be coming to Wisconsin to walk on as a fullback. 44-2, the number 1 seed at 215 pounds. And then another one of my favorites, Reed Falk. I got to interview him. He's gone to state now. It's his 3rd year.
From Middleton.
He's 44-0. You know, remember that game from football. A small defensive end, but he's a beast there. 44-0. Number 1 seed he's at 190 pounds. And then Eli Leonard, 50-0, Mount Horeb Barneveld, the number 1 seed at 190 in Division II. And because this year they decided to even out the divisions, there's teams in Division I that went to 2. Stoughton, normally Division I team. Mount Horeb Barneveld, they're in Division II for wrestling. So this is the individual championships Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Cole Center. The team championships used to be in the Fieldhouse, but because of the growth of girls' sport, it got moved this year to Lacrosse Center, and that'll be the following week. The teams, but individuals. So if you want to find a parking place, want to go to a restaurant downtown Madison this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, good luck.
Yeah, if you're not going, you should go to the wrestling. It's a great time. It's an awesome environment, one of Dennis's favorite. But if you're not there for the wrestling, I would highly advise you stay away from downtown Madison near the Cole Center this weekend. It is a great time. It's a great atmosphere. But if you don't need to be down there, it can be very hectic. There's a ton of people, a ton of buses and cars. And
good luck
it can
finding
be very
parking.
difficult. Exactly. So just be aware of that. That's a public service announcement from us here at PrepMania Weekly. For the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Summerau, for our producer, Owen Dimful, I'm Hunter Vaughn. This has been Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer